Hey guys, in this video we're talking about narcissism. Now I will tell you, this has come up so much lately that I had to actually Google the word. Now I've heard of it, I know kind of what it means, but I never really knew the official definition, so I had to look it up, and that's why I'm going to tell you in case you don't know. So narcissism, according to Google, is personality qualities including thinking very highly of oneself, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, and lacking empathy for others. Now guys, I know that's a pretty rough definition of looking at someone in that way. Now I'm not gonna say that those things aren't really sucky if you're in situations with people that are a narcissist, but today I'm gonna explain exactly what that means and how you can make a difference. So based on that definition, what I just described were behaviors. Okay, so thinking highly of yourself, lacking empathy for others, feeling inferior to others, those are all behaviors. Okay, so it's not the person, meaning that person, just like I teach in everything I teach about Start Living Life, every person is born happy, loving life, and confident. However, over time, we're raised, trained, or conditioned to be hard on ourselves. We're conditioned over time, and it's for many different reasons, but we're conditioned to be down on ourselves, to not feel as good. What happens over time as you grow through life, especially your earlier life, when you start to become down on yourself, you're not going to feel good. You're going to actually lack self-esteem. What happens is because people don't know how to change it or improve it, or people don't realize that loving yourself is the #1 solution to combating that, they do the opposite. They pretend to be more confident than they are. They look to put down other people. They try to make themselves look better than others. And the reason why they do that is because they don't really like themselves, #1, and #2, they have insecurities. So I want you to understand how the word narcissist, if you have one in your life, I want you to see that person for not as given a label, because I really cannot stand labels. I have a book coming out in January. I'm so excited about it because I talk about labels and how there's such a deterrent on living life in the fullest way possible. But narcissist is a label, okay? So it's really just a label given to someone who A, is not happy with themselves and have insecurities. So because they're not happy with themselves, they're going to treat you poorly. They're going to be mean to you probably, and they're not going to be very nice to be around. So I want you to take a step back and look at that person for the behaviors, okay? And those behaviors, like I said, are coming because they don't feel good about themselves. So as long as you understand that, that's the most important piece, because it was so funny. Last week I had this beautiful girl, 18, she's one of my lifers. I'm gonna call her Sally Sue. Sally Sue comes with her mom, and again, she's a beautiful, fun, loving, sweet girl. And mom's like, Sally Sue's dating a narcissist. Now this narcissist, we'll call him Joe, is a year younger. So I said, all right, Mom, well, what does that look like? So she goes, you know what? He puts her down. He tells her she can't go out. She can't look at other boys, and all these crazy behaviors, okay? So I said to Mom, okay, I gotcha. All right. So I said to Sally Sue, I said, all right, so you have to see this as this is his behaviors, and it's because he is not happy with himself and he actually lacks self-esteem and he's insecure. So Sally Sue says, no, Con, actually he's really confident and he's the opposite, because so that can't be the case. And I said, oh, but Sally Sue, it is. That's why he's coming off overly confident, because he's compensating for his lack of self-esteem. And I say that because, guys, when you're truly happy and confident, you don't have to come across overly confident. And if you are truly happy and confident, you don't put anyone down ever. That's just so opposite of who you are. So having someone like that who's down on themselves, you could understand if they don't know what's going on inside them and they feel bad about themselves, they're going to treat you poorly. They're going to be a jerk. But I want you to see the behavior for what it is. It's someone who's not liking themselves. So that's #1. So now that you understand why someone's behaving like that, now you have a clearer picture that this person's not a happy person. #2, this is the important part that affects you. How are you letting their behaviors affect and influence your self-esteem? That's the big question. And in order for you to understand a little bit about that, I want you to understand this. If you have, and taking out, if let's say it's a family member, because it's your family, it's not like you chose to be in that family. So taking that out of the equation, let's say it's an ex-husband, let's say you're dating him currently, whatever the case may be. If you have a choice and that person's in your life right now, and when I say choice, you might not have a choice because maybe you're married to this person, but I want you to understand, if you attracted this person that is down on themselves on the inside, probably don't even know it, have insecurities about themselves and don't even realize it, and you attracted this person, I hate to say it, but you have some of that too going on as well. Because if you were truly your happy, confident self, you wouldn't have attracted that person. Number two, if you did attract that person, you wouldn't be putting up with those behaviors. And number three, you wouldn't be allowing those behaviors to make you feel bad about yourself. So in this video, I wanted you to understand exactly what a narcissist is. It's just an unhappy person. Now, if this person's in your life, this is all about how is it affecting you? What can you do to change this? And this is the bottom line. You can't change that person. That person has to want to change for themselves. So you're watching this video because this video is really about you. How do you get to feel better? And this is your sign and your signal that if you are with a narcissist, you need to start developing you. You need to start working on you. Read self-help books, go on YouTube, watch videos like this. You need to increase your self-esteem because when you do, and you know your value and you know your worth, you won't be putting up with bullshit like that. And number two, if you have to, because let's say you're married and you're not in a position to leave the marriage right now, at least you're going to see the behaviors for what it is and not let it negatively affect your self-esteem or negatively impact your life in a bad way. You're going to see it for what it is. You're going to see this person for someone who is unhappy and has insecurities and doesn't know what you now know about watching this video about the only reason why they feel like crap is because they're down on themselves, they're hard on themselves. And again, we don't know why. And that's another thing. Sometimes I have people come in and they're like, he's a narcissist because growing up, his parents weren't good to him. And he was from an abusive childhood. And guess what? All those details are irrelevant. It's irrelevant why he got to where he is. The question is, what can he do to fix it? And just like I'm telling you, he needs to work on himself. He needs to increase his self-esteem. He needs to love himself regardless of his income, regardless of his career, regardless of his parents like him, regardless of his childhood, regardless of everything. He's got to learn how to love himself, but he's not watching this video. You are. So you have to learn how to love yourself. And again, like I said, take this as a sign. If you attracted this person, you got some of that going on. And the fact that you're still there means you have some of that going on. And so that's what you need to address. Because when you're confident and you freaking know your value and your worthiness, you're not putting up with that. And like I said, if you have to, that's fine, but you're going to see the behaviors for what it is. Just someone who's unhappy, who doesn't like themselves, that are in a position of putting you down. Now, don't let it affect you. Just see it for what it is.